While I wouldn't call Cell my favorite Dragon Ball villain, he's definitely the one I find the most interesting. Despite being something Toriyama wrote as he went along, Cell works incredibly well in an arc themed around humility, and in various other ways as well. Not only is he a dark reflection of our heroes, from Piccolo's cunning nature to Vegeta's arrogance and Goku's love for fighting, but there's another way he reflects them that I really appreciate, and that's his journey. To really understand what I mean here, we need to look at the arc that came before. On Namek, our characters faced off against the best of the best and had to grow stronger to survive. They fought with all they had and adapted as much as they could. However, with each new success, there was yet another wall placed in front of them. And so, one by one, they all fell behind, except for one. Through truly internalizing his Saiyan half and becoming a Super Saiyan, Goku was finally able to tear down the final wall that was Frieza, and could truly be known as the strongest being in the universe. With that, here we are, with all of our main characters having reached this pinnacle. Piccolo, 17, 18, 16, Vegeta, Trunks, Goku, all of these characters are now the best of the best, and these are the walls Cell will need to overcome to be complete, and just like our heroes, he'll need to get stronger and adapt if he's going to get there. Which he does. He cleverly escapes our hero's detection as he gathers more strength. He defeats Piccolo after his first loss against him. He successfully absorbs 17, defeats 16, and uses Vegeta's arrogance and lust for battle to finally claim 18. Through his own work, cunning mind, and determination, Cell is able to achieve his perfect form and prove himself superior to both Vegeta and Trunks. With that, he can now sit atop his throne as the new top dog. But can he really do that now? There's still one more person he has yet to prove himself above, and that person has become even stronger than ever before. Well, may as well prove his position, right? What I love about Cell in this part of the story is how much of a spectacle he makes this fight. He could have just risen his ki after 9 days so Goku could locate him, but instead decides to take to the airwaves to announce a tournament all based around him, where the rules just have him fight against everyone and showing off his power. He wants to flaunt his strength and he wants people to fear him. He's so full of himself here, and it's great. Once the day arrives for their match, Cell sees Goku's worth and is thrilled by the challenge, but as their fight goes on, he's not worried in the slightest. Towards the end of their fight, Cell's victory and title as the strongest is practically guaranteed, but then Goku quits and calls Gohan up. This is certainly a shock to Cell, but still nothing to be worried about. He's just a kid who wasn't even worth considering in the first place. At least his anger is somewhat interesting, so why not bring that out? Surely it wouldn't mean much to his perfect self, right? Cell's defeat against Gohan is one of the most humiliating one-sided fights any Dragon Ball villain has ever had, only being beaten by the talking candy. He's on the floor after just 3 hits, gets his own blast thrown back at him, and goes berserk only to get hit so hard he loses his perfect form. This event he hyped up to satiate his own ego and show off his own superiority was just ended by a kid who didn't even want to fight him in the first place. That is just truly amazing. Just like with everyone else who grew too arrogant in this arc, he paid the price for it. But the level of humiliation he faces here is so much worse, and he has no one to blame but himself. To make things even better, the one rising star out of Cell's whole spectacle is Mr. Satan. Cell's goal was to be perfect and reach the top of the power ladder. However, the flaw with this mindset is believing there's a top in the first place. There's always room to grow, there's always someone better, and ironically enough, this understanding is something his imperfect self had over his perfect self. Because of his imperfections, he pushed himself and did everything he could to reach and outpace our heroes. However, once he became perfect, he didn't really care about getting better because he thought there was no need. He's perfect, so why bother? I know people rag on Goku for not using the Dragon Balls to find Gero, but our gang had 3 years to train and improve. It was risky, but not unreasonable given how strong they were able to get in recent years. Cell, however, only asked for 9 days, knowing our characters were getting incredibly strong in such a short amount of time. And what does he do in that time? He just sits around waiting for them. I suppose the anime has him blowing up asteroids, but regardless, he doesn't seem motivated to get better anymore. The only reason he got stronger afterward was due to dumb luck, and what does he do immediately after? He goes back in to prove his superiority as quickly as possible, and gets killed for it by Gohan. With all this said, what purpose does it serve? Cell and his arc in general show us the errors of arrogance and the need for humility, but I believe there's another element at play here. At the start of the arc, our characters reach the top, and they naturally want to stay there. However, that simply can't stay a reality. New threats will arrive time and time again, no matter what, and while our characters can get stronger, there's a newer, more capable generation that can do it faster. This is what I ultimately believe the point to be. The old way is coming to an end, and a newer generation will be the one to carry the future. This is why Cell's defeat had to come at the hands of Gohan. Him being an amalgamation of our older heroes and mirroring their rise to the top, only to desperately try and fail to keep that position against Gohan, perfectly encapsulates this idea. So yeah, not bad for a villain that was basically thought up midway through. Yes, the next arc has our older characters returning, but I've already talked about why they needed to and what the Buu arc was ultimately about, if you haven't seen it already. In order to be capable, the newer generation needs guidance from the old. This idea even holds true in this arc. Remember, Gohan was only able to beat Cell because of Goku's support, and Trunks was only able to save his future because of what he gained in the past. Man, I really did these videos out of order. Anywho, thanks for watching.